Nah, yo, I really be wanting to like explain some of the mindsets and thought processes behind like recording and mixing and shit. But when I type it out, it be looking like whole paragraphs and shit. Like I don't, and I be trying to keep it simple for the typing, and it still looks crazy. But I gotta figure out. Like I think I might start doing little like shit like this and just talk and kind of explain it, but like drop it as content or whatever you want to call it, videos and reels. Well, I'm gonna just start chopping it now and shit. I'm chilling, but yeah. So I'll say one tip that I like that I think is good is when you're mixing and shit and just learning the shit. When you pull a tool up, take it to its max off rip, like whatever turn every knob to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? Just one by one and listen to what it does. Because it's easier to tell what something's doing when you max it out. Like, go all the way to the fullest. You'll be like, okay, this shit got quieter or it got louder or it got, you feel me? Something's going to happen. And just that's the best way to kind of learn that. And what the tools can do is just go push it to its extreme and go in between. Like, go back and forth between nothing and max. And then you'll hear, like, what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? And then you find your sweet spot for whatever you're going for at the time. All right. So next, I would say it's probably going to be the recording side and stuff. Try to get you a pop filter if you can, which is the little screen that go in front of the mic. Don't have it right up on the mic. Pull the pop filter, a little inch or 3 inches, a little bit off of the mic, you feel me? So that the air, because what the purpose is it stops the air when you have plosives like B's and P's and shit. The little air that comes out of your mouth will hit the screen, and then you want space in between that screen and the capsule of the mic so that the air can diffuse before it hits the capsule. Like, that's even what the grill on the microphones is for. It's basically the same thing. It's so that the sound and the plosives can diffuse a little bit before it hits the capsule. Like, there's no mic really that just has an exposed capsule. They all have grills blocking the capsule, keeping it safe and shit. Boom. So we got the room, got the shit set up. Now for the fun part. When you set the gain on your input for how much volume the mic is picking up, you don't want that too loud. Like, when you look at the fader, you don't want that loud at all, honestly. I'm not going front. When a nigga get loud on the mic, you really only want that shit to be hitting 10, like when it's getting loud, -10 on the meter. If he starts screaming like to the top of his lungs, maybe -6, -3. Feel me? Even at -3, the sound, your mic is gonna be distorting. And if you're hitting -3, like, you're gonna have some extra color coming from the equipment in that mic. So keep it low. Like, keep your gain on the preamp low. Turn the mic. If your voice is too quiet in your headphones, turn it up on the fader in Pro Tools, not the gain on your interface. Keep that low as possible. All right, boom. So now you know how to get a clean take with no distortion. You got the volume good in your headphones because you raised the volume with the computer, not on the interface. Right, boom. So now it's loud, but it's clear still. You feel me? It's not getting ugly. It's not getting crunchy. Like, you could turn it up even louder now because it's clean. So, as far as vocal chains go, me personally, what I record through, I like to have an EQ on it and then followed by a compressor. Now, they're doing two different things. The EQ is, I'm kind of trying to start fighting the room sound and reflections as early as possible. So I find out where those reflections are building up at, depending on the voice, and I duck those areas. High pass up to 90, 100 hertz, and then duck the room. I'll do a compressor video next because I'm running out of time. So, yeah, for the EQ, do a high pass filter, roll it all the way up. So I would say 90, 100 hertz. It really can depend. Just play it by ear. Like I said, push it to the maximum and then back it off till it sounds good. That's the spot for you. Leave it there. Boom. Till it sounds good in the headphones. This is all just headphone work, like however it's sounding in the headphones. Then take a regular curve and sweep it around. Find the area where there's some buildup. When you hit the right spot, the vocal will sound like it gets clearer. Like it'll just sound more like a voice. Like it'll start sounding more like a regular voice that you're used to hearing. And boom, it's usually between like 200 hertz up to like maybe 500 hertz. Like somewhere in that range is going to be some type of like buildup that if you duck it a little bit, the true vocal will come out more. So yeah, do that. Those are the main two things with the EQ that we're printing on. All right, so we got the EQ set up. Compression. So EQ is to fight the room. Compression is to kind of control the volume of the take a little bit, right? So when you're performing and you're rapping, you're gonna, certain words are louder than others naturally. It's always gonna be like that. You're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? The goal is not to get them every word to sound the same volume, but you just want the loudest part in this stage. We're just recording now. In this stage, I'm trying to get the loudest parts, the eyes, the certain words that just pop out louder. I just want to hit those a little bit. On those loud words, I want the needle with the numbers to hit like 1, 2 on the meter. Like just 1 or 2 dB just on the loud parts. Like with most of the performance, the needle don't even got to be moving for most of the performance. That's when I know it's set right for me. Like, and then when he says something loud or when I say something loud, 1 dB, 2 dB on the meter. So that's why I try to set. Boom. So yeah, for those compressors that you're like, when I'm recording, I usually reach for like a 1176 style compressor. That's good. They're very fast, so it could catch the peaks quick, and that's my goal. So I usually grab one of those. That's like the easiest one to set. Tube Techs are famous. The little CL1B. Everybody love using them. It's like industry standard. I be trying. The shit, I really just don't like how it sounds recording through it. Like it don't really do what the hardware one does, I guess. Like that all the pros use and shit. The plug-in version, I don't know. It's hard to set. It's hard to hear what it's doing. 1176, much more straightforward, easy to set. I use 1176. Fast attack, fast release. I'm aiming for 1 to 2 to 3 dBs just on the loud parts. You feel me? 1176 though. I just wanted to say go for one of those. Yeah, so that'll really cover the recording side for me. That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's my vocal chain. That kind of gets me in the ballpark early, you know what I'm saying? When I solo out the vocal, it's not going to be ugly as hell. Like, it's going to be, you feel me? It's going to be close to where it needs to be. Closer than it would have been. It's not ugly. If you don't do none of that, if you just don't do an EQ, no compressor, and you mute your take's going to sound ugly. I promise you. Your speakers is going to sound ugly. It's going to be mad low end in it. Your speakers are going to be pushing like there's a bass playing, like it's 808. Your voice is going to be mad woofy. Like that's not how vocals are in the mix. That woofiness, that shit got to go. Like mics pick it up. You feel me? In nature, our ears are able to filter out a lot of that shit. A mic can't. So it's gonna be in the sound. That shit gonna be ugly. It's not gonna sound like you at all. Like, yeah, nah. So this shit already getting long as hell. But all right, from there we good. We got clean recordings now. So when I go to like start mixing or whatever to try to process it some more, make it sound, you know what I'm saying, finished, I usually start off with like a noise gate that'll make it so that when you in the dead spots, in the quiet spots of your recording where you're not saying anything, they're like, it'll completely mute the sound. Then when the vocal come back in, the gate will open and then the vocal start going. Then when you stop recording, the gate closes. And that's just so you don't pick up any like room noise or any extra background noise and shit. You feel me? The homies might be in the back or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Close out all of that. Anything below a certain volume, it'll automatically just quiet everything. And then once the signal goes above that volume, it opens everything. So then your vocal come out. So yeah, start off with a noise gate. Then from there, you could go, if you use auto-tune, that's where I would put the auto-tune. I would start the auto-tune right there, set it however you want it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're in the right key. You know what I'm saying? If you have to go through them until you find one that sounds good, you feel me? Do what you got to do. Put it in the right key, or else this shit is just pointless. It's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it's matching the key of the music, of the beat. Yeah, so noise gate, get the background noise out, isolate the signal that you want to have, and then then you do auto tune. Boom, got your auto tune. Next, I will either go de-esser or another EQ that matches similar to what we recorded. Like it's pretty much gonna look the same, but now you could go into more detail, be a little more aggressive, because this is not being printed. This can always be adjusted and tweaked. So I would say EQ, right? So after that second layer of EQ, the vocal should sound pretty clean. You might hear the S's and the T's might start annoying your ears. That's when I typically start hearing it. Like once I clean the low end up of the vocal and it starts like feeling kind of good, I'll start hearing the S's and T's and a little sharpness. That's when I reach for a de-esser. So I'll grab a de-esser. That's to control S's. It's in the name, DS. It takes the S's away, basically. So you find the frequency where the S's are, and then you just bring the threshold down. On that, I'm also aiming for -6 dB, -3 dB on the needles. Like when the S's happen, I want the meter to hit like -3, -4, -5, depending on how loud the S or T is. The louder it is, the bigger the number should be on the meter, but I don't want to really go past -6. At this point, the voice gonna sound good. Like it's gonna be sounding pretty good. It's gonna be sounding, you know what I'm saying, pretty good. This is when I reach for another stage of compression, and that's why I was talking about in that post earlier with LA2A type of compressor. Because we got a dB or 2 dB on the peaks, our loudest parts when we were recording, like it kind of brought those down, and we're already a little bit consistent on the volume difference in our performance. Now we could just slap on a LA2A, like after we de-essed and EQ'd again. We slap on the LA2A on that, same numbers, 1 dB, 3 dB, like, but that one I kind of want the needle moving the whole time. I don't really want it setting back to 0 unless I get quiet. But as I'm recording, I'm trying to keep it between 3 and 1 dB. That's going to make it a consistent performance all the way across, and it sounds. So this is where you start crafting the sound really to like your specific taste. Like I feel like this is, at this point, this is where every single mix should get here, regardless of the genre, regardless of whatever it is. Like this, you're gonna want your vocal at this point. But from here is where you make it yours, like make it your own shit, right? So I threw on another de-esser in particular case the other day. It was sounding crunchy still, like in the high end. It was like brittle. It was just some shit going on up there I didn't like. It just didn't sound natural. I knew it wasn't the low end. It wasn't like feeling big or anything or making the vocal feel cloudy, but it was like a sizzle. It was like a top end, like it kind of hurt. So I grabbed another de-esser. After the LE2A, I put another de-esser, but I put the frequency at a different spot than the one earlier. You feel me? And I did that same thing, took some of that high end out. So then it's like, all right, the vocal sounded pretty good, but this is where my recording environment reared its head again, like it poked its head out. So I was hearing the room build up again. Like, mind you, we done already de-essed the room build up 2 times already, or not de-essed it, EQ'd it 2 times already, but I still heard it and could tell like, nah, that's not what my voice alone sounds like. Like there's something going on. Like it just wasn't, it wasn't there. So then instead of pulling up another EQ, this time I tried multi-band compression, which basically combines a compressor and an EQ into one tool. It's a compressor, but you can set it at specific frequencies. Like you can find a specific area and say, I only want to compress this area. You know what I'm saying? And then you set it like a compressor. Attack a release threshold, get the gain reduction on the meters and shit like that. Yeah, so once I got that area dialed in with the multi-band compression, I was reducing that specific area. The vocal was butter. Like it was the cleanest I've ever heard. I've heard my voice sound thus far. And I was like, okay, like that sound like me for real. Like that's really what I'm thinking it should sound like when I'm saying certain parts and certain lines. And like in my head, it feels a certain way, and I know it's supposed to come across a certain way. It was sounding like that. Like it was feeling just like that. It was solid. It was like, it wasn't, you feel me? It was nothing really off about it anymore. Like it was literally feeling how I thought it was feeling in my head. Like how I was feeling in my head and sounding in my head. That's how each word and each phrase was sounding. So I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, that's butter. Like that was the icing on the cake as far as getting rid of the room and getting rid of whatever my recording challenges are. So at this point, I would say it's just up to personal taste and trying shit at this point. But usually you would go to reverb and delay after this, and that's just like echoes and like space. You feel me? Because we did all of this in the mix to remove the space of the room. So now we got a clean, dry vocal. Now we want to add a little bit of ambience, a little bit of sauce to it to make it feel musical and feel big. So you might want to do some echoes and some delays just to make it feel like your artist is in space or you're in like a room or whatever. Like, but you can control it. So that's all personal taste and stuff. But yeah, 8th note, 4th note delay. I like slapback delays is when you like do a real short delay, like just 10 milliseconds. Well, 10 is probably gonna be too slow. I usually end up like 40, 45 milliseconds and then do a little shift on one side so it's like makes it wider. Yeah, it's a lot of shit you can do from that point.